We spend much less traveling than living.
Like a big tour. Can I say big?
No, I'll believe that. Every year it scares me a bit more.
Who's most likely to get caught lying? Getting married didn't change our relationship.
I heard the discipline, not the stubbornness. Tall people die earlier.
Oh, are we something?
I am. I'm right in the corner.
You have to go a tiny bit more. No, I have to. Is it recording? Oh, it's recording this whole time. I'm Alejandra. I'm Spanish. I was born in Spain, but grew up in India, in a small village. I studied public international law and international relations, and have always worked in public policy, advocating for different causes that I believe in. For many years it was gender, and for the past couple of years, animal welfare, which I am really passionate about.
She's a badass. I think you're a badass with that.
Thank you.
I'm Warner. I was born and grew up in a little village south of Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. I'm Dutch. I studied architecture.
And have worked as an architect.
Since then, mainly as an architect / designer.
So first question, how did we meet?
Tinder. Easy.
That is the short.
We're a Tinder couple.
Yeah, we're a Tinder couple. If you don't know what Tinder is, it's a dating application, online dating application. And we met almost 9 years ago. It was instant connection, instant falling in love, and we've been together ever since. Basically, we started talking and 12 hours later we met.
Yeah, and since then we are together.
Basically.
Non-stop.
So
Yeah.
it worked out. Lighter question. Favorite drink?
Juice, for sure. Like I brewed our own kombucha for a long
We
time.
brewed, yeah.
I
Okay,
did the
you
heavy
brewed.
lifting.
Yes, fine.
And I really like that. I absolutely love drinking it, but it got me very bloated at a certain point, so I stopped.
One thing I drink every day is a matcha latte in the morning. We both do.
Good one, yeah.
So that is, I guess, my favorite drink in the sense that I have it every day. I love chai from India. Unbeatable is just one of the best drinks in the world.
The ones from the train or the fancy
train.
hipster ones?
No, train chai. Masala chai. Delicious. Also Thai tea. Oh, basically I like teas with milk and sugar. And those are my favorite drinks. First thing you do when you get home. I have definite things I do immediately.
More of like your house rules kind of thing.
Yeah, I think like something that like when you're home, it's automatic. I take my shoes off and I change into comfy clothes. I cannot be at home wearing like jeans. No, I need comfy joggers. I need to be cozy. It's my first thing. You don't change clothes, for example, when you get home. We do take our shoes off though.
I'm not a shoe in the house person. Yeah. That's
You always make tea.
No-go.
That's the first thing you do when you get home. Make tea. Best and worst subjects in school.
English.
You just say English.
English was the worst. I don't know if it was the worst, but languages were no-go. I failed my English actually in high school, which is great. If you watch this and you don't speak English, there's still hope.
You can make it. Yeah.
Like, not that my English is perfect at the moment, but I do speak and understand it.
I mean, you work in English, we speak in English, so... Yeah, for me was also languages were tough.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
French.
You speak English so well.
Yeah, English was fine because I learned up talking English, but French I was terrible at. I was really bad at anything humanities-based, and I was really bad at history. I am just not interested in history.
You're not at all.
No, for me, history is the story of the powerful and rich, and I don't care about the powerful and rich, especially not old ones that are already gone. But I loved biology. I really liked math until I got a really bad math teacher, and then I didn't like it. I've always loved art. That was my favorite subject by far. I loved creative things.
For me, it was math for sure. I really liked chemistry for a long time, but that was also because I got good grades.
Warner is if I'm good at it, I like it. If I'm not good at it, I don't like it so much.
Like I'm terrible. It's not a high achieving thing, but if I fail at something, it's hard for me to continue. Physics, for example, was already more difficult. I loved economics.
Where was your first trip together? Morocco.
Was it Morocco?
Yeah. Our first big trip was after almost a year of us dating. I graduated, you had already graduated, and then we came down to Spain, we took the ferry, and we spent 2 weeks traveling around Morocco, and we absolutely loved it. It was amazing.
And
really
went well, really, like right from the start.
Yeah, we just, well, but that's generally our story. We meshed pretty well, living together, traveling together. We've never had big issues. Yeah.
That trip was amazing.
If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go and why? This is the typical question that we always struggle with because we want to travel everywhere and kind of difficult.
You can mention a couple.
If I didn't have to take into account budget or distance or our way of traveling, which is we try to make it more sustainable, I would go to Namibia right now.
Yeah, that's.
And I would do like a big tour. Can I say big?
No, I'll bleep that.
Okay, I would do a big tour through the country. I would love to. And see they've got mountain gorillas in either DRC or Rwanda or Uganda. Probably Uganda. I think it's the place that it's best, but I would love to see mountain gorillas. If I could choose anything without taking into account all the parameters that we take into account normally, I would go to see something that's really spectacular of nature and with animals in the most respectful way possible, of course, because I also think that it's limited in this world, those resources, and that beauty is limited, and we are unfortunately destroying everything. So I don't have this faith that in 10 years we'll be able to see the same things. So that's what I would do right now.
Okay, cool. For me, it's China.
You want to do a long road trip through China.
It's something that grew for the last couple of years, and especially now I listen a lot to Drum Towers, like a podcast of The Economist, and the country fascinates me more and more. Of course,
it's learn about it.
Like more and more present as well, but I just want to see how the countryside is. I've traveled to the US when like I had a similar situation that we talk about it all the time, but in a fairly negative way. I want to see how it really is.
Yeah, and you loved it. How do you afford to travel?
Saving up mainly and spending less.
Yeah, we're quite frugal, I would say, both of us, and therefore we're very good at saving up money. Even though we both don't have very high paying jobs, we manage to save up quite a lot.
Yeah, and we also don't have any financial responsibility. We don't own a car, we don't own a house.
Like we don't own anything.
There's no cost at the moment for us to spend any money on. But we're gonna definitely in the future show you how we do it exactly, because we've tried to show that before, and we have a fairly different approach to life and how we save up and what we do spend money on. And the funny thing, and that's really shocking, but we only found that out when we were traveling, is that we spend much less traveling than living in Europe. That includes all our flights, visas, all the travel costs. It was something that was really shocking to us.
Yeah, that we could travel for very little and actually travel how we like anyway.
Yeah, we didn't miss out on anything.
What motivates you to keep on traveling?
The experiences, seeing the world. Just the life we have is so limited and narrow that there's just a whole other world out there. And for me, it's also just, and it sounds very cliche, but like for me, it's just opening my mind, because all the stuff that comes in here in Europe, it's all very Western focused, very white man focused, unfortunately. And seeing something different is just opening my heart. Now I really become Jewish, but opening my heart as well, not having a fear of any other place.
For me, I said that I found it a weird question because I was like, I don't need anything to motivate me. For me, like traveling is such an intrinsic part of what gives my life sense and what I love. Like I feel most myself when I'm traveling. I really do. I couldn't imagine not traveling. In fact, the periods of our life where we haven't been able to travel on a regular basis, like this past couple of years, are always very dark periods for me. I get into big slumps, and traveling is the biggest medicine. It's like how I feel best. But I do have to say that it's traveling the way we like traveling. I like to stay in places long, experience certain things. I like to be very ingrained in local culture.
Yeah, we don't like to really see anything. There's a lot of things we just skip, even though they're extremely highly regarded tourist sites. And that's just because we want to go to a place and experience it. Walk around, see things, fall into different kind of stories. I really like that. Yeah.
Which country have you visited that made you change your mind about it? And I guess it can be with preconceptions that you had that turned out not to be true, or also that surprised you, a country that you weren't really expecting much of, or you didn't really know about before. So for me, certainly Oman comes to mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we never planned on going there. It was only because we were doing a layover in Oman that when I was booking it, they offered us the option to extend the layover for free for 10 days. And we were like, well, why not? Let's do it, without knowing anything about the country. And it was amazing. It was one of the best, most surprising places I've been to. So we absolutely loved that. I didn't have any preconceived notions that it's broke. I just didn't know anything about Oman. And now I love it. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I think we also were positively surprised by Thailand. I think there we both had preconceived ideas. We both went to Thailand thinking like, it's so touristy and it's frequented by the wrong type of tourists, in our opinion. The people that just go to get drunk, and there's so much, negative connotations to certain parts of the nightlife, and we're really not those type of people. So I think we went to Thailand thinking we would not like it at all, and we wouldn't feel it was our place, and it would have been ruined by tourists, and then we loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
Like, the people are so nice. I don't know how they put up with foreigners, but they're so kind, and there are many parts of the country that don't have that tourist attraction feeling, and
it wasn't spoiled. We thought it would have been completely spoiled by the tourism industry, but it wasn't.
Any other country that really surprised you?
Most recent, Algeria really surprised us in its hospitality, and I just wanted to mention India as well.
What's one thing you've always wanted to learn how to do but haven't had the chance to yet? For me, it's pottery. I've wanted to do pottery for years. I think I would really enjoy it. Many creative things. I would be happy to learn almost any creative skill just to try it, but pottery is one thing that I've had in my mind, like one day I'll do pottery.
For me, the thing that came up immediately was construct a house, and that sounds really stupid because I am an architect and I should supposed to, but I've always designed and supervised them, but I've never actually had
done the building
tools in my hand. Like, I've done small renovations and stuff, and I know how things are done, or I think I know, but just doing it, I think it's a very stressful but also very fulfilling thing.
Yeah. This one's a deep one. We don't really have to answer it. I don't know why I put it. What is your biggest fear? I'm scared of the dark, but
now we go. I'm scared of so many things. I think getting older.
Yeah, it scares you?
I noticed every year it scares me a bit more. Since I was 18, I'm genuinely afraid of getting midlife crisis, which sounds like the most
premonition
privileged fear that there is, but it's actually a big fear of mine.
For me, I think it's feeling stuck. So I've always said my biggest fear is living a conventional life, but it's not the living that life itself, it's like feeling like I'm trapped in that life, like it's not a choice. What's your favorite type of cuisine?
I love Japanese food, but the veganism part hasn't fully gotten ingrained. I absolutely love Indian food, but can only have that for a certain amount of time.
For me, it's Southeast Asian. I know that's quite broad, but I love Thai food. I love Malaysian, the Chinese Malaysian, vegan temple food. I think that's my favorite. I love Vietnamese, I love Indonesian.
The food in Myanmar was delicious as well.
What's the most meaningful experience you've had in your life so far?
I should say that we married. But like, for me, it doesn't feel that way. Like, there was not a trap, no?
No, I was not thinking of that.
Because it wasn't that meaningful.
I was thinking our travel. Getting married didn't change our relationship.
Oh, you mean meaningful? And it's like that really marked a change in our life? It was maybe the moment we sat down in Brussels and decided that we were going to travel.
For me, I think like something I will cherish my whole life is our 1.5 year traveling, and I want to do it again.
I don't know what that word
I will
meaningful
never regret.
means. Like, in what sense?
Meaningful, like it meant a lot to you. It was very important.
So it meant a lot to me. Basically, all the trips I've done. The first one, the big one I did, was half a year in the United States, which was an amazing road trip. That was before I knew you. I went to Malawi for 4 months to work there, which was also great. I love that trip. Since Ali and I know each other, we started traveling quite regularly, and we have some really cool trips that we've done. The 1.5 year trip so far stands out by far, no?
And another really meaningful cluster of experiences for me has been every time we've helped an animal. The things I will always be proudest of, and that bring me a lot of joy.
Yeah, I'm always proudest of that as well, and it's the thing I'm very hesitant to do in the beginning.
Now we have a quick fire section. These are not deep questions, this is more like
okay.
Answer immediately, okay? Books or movies?
Movies.
Books. Wine or beer?
None.
We don't drink, if you had to, but we don't drink alcohol, so for me neither.
No.
Who is more likely to forget someone's name?
Really?
I have such bad memory.
Oh, come on, like you.
You just wouldn't listen. You remember names more often than I do. Both of us. We're not great. Who is most likely to get caught lying? Clearly.
I've had it that Ali told me a story, and then the day after I would tell the same story with a bunch of new
embellishments,
made up additions
to me,
to her.
He embellishes things.
I'm proud of that.
Who is most likely to procrastinate?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think you.
I think
I'm more disciplined in that sense.
I'm good at procrastinating things that I don't want to do.
I have to admit, you're also super good at working on a deadline last minute.
Yeah, and I have moments of like creative genius or like of moments of great productivity where I do much more than is normal. And then I have other moments where I'm really a potato and can't do anything. So I procrastinate in that sense. Who is most likely to lose their cool in an argument?
Does it mean you like getting angry? Yeah. Oh, both of us.
We both have tempers.
We both have tempers. We're both extremely stubborn. We have fights over the most ridiculous stuff, and we can keep it going for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, we've become better at it. It has been a lot of work, especially from my part, but you also, you still need to work on it actually.
Yeah, we both need to work on it. Who is most likely to keep calm in a crisis? Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think I stress more beforehand. Like I have a lot of anxiety, so I can worry a lot about situations before they take place, which makes no sense because it's not fixing the situation. When things get bad, I snap on and I'm able to just...
And my brain just
collapses.
Goes silent.
Who reads more?
Easy.
I love reading. Who is most likely to cry watching a sad movie?
Easy.
I cry over everything.
Every movie.
If I see someone crying, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, but even if it's something like positive, you're gonna cry. If it's something negative, you're gonna cry.
I cry easily.
It doesn't really matter. Any emotional peak, Ali will start crying.
Who is most likely to answer the phone if called in the middle of the night?
You?
You, babe.
I don't wake up, but I would pick up the phone.
Would you? You don't respond to anything.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't care. If I'm sleeping, you could be dead. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, so me. Who's the clumsiest?
Easy.
Who is most likely to relapse after going to rehab?
You?
You're so disciplined. Like you're like, I quit coffee and you never drink coffee again. I think you're more disciplined than like you have more this like stubbornness thing than I do.
Oh, that's a nice compliment. I heard the discipline, not the stubbornness.
Okay. I really think I would relapse more quickly than you.
I have a very addictive personality.
Yeah, so
like
if it's before going to rehab?
I would go into addiction quicker. If you would ask who would be an addict quicker.
For you for sure.
By far.
He just is like a quantities person. Whereas I'm not at all. I don't need anything as a constant in my life. I don't have an addictive personality. I don't get tempted very easily. In that sense, I wouldn't go to rehab. But because of that as well, I don't feel the need to be super disciplined with decisions I make. So if I said, oh, I'm not having matcha anymore, I could easily break that rule. Whereas Warner, because you know you have an addictive personality, if you decided to cut something out, you cut it out.
I have to.
Strict. Yeah. And then you're much more disciplined about that. Who is most likely to have a petty excuse? You put excuses for everything. Yeah, if I say, hey, you did this wrong, even if it's a super innocent comment, you'll always come up with that. And make an excuse for it. Who is most likely to live the longest?
Really?
Yeah.
You think that I will live longer?
Statistically, I'm a woman, so statistically I have
You should live longer, and
chance.
I'm tall. It's like big dogs, they'll die quicker. That's actually, the study came out that tall people die earlier.
Okay, so statistically, yes, but I don't sleep at all.
No,
and we
true.
know how bad that is for your health.
And you have a pretty bad health.
Yeah, I have bad health. I have a lot of anxiety, which also is bad. Like
a lot of stress.
There's moments in my life where I stress so much that I see the years ticking down. So I think I'm likely to go sooner.
That's gonna be sad.
Who is most likely to arrive late to an important event?
Absolutely.
I don't arrive late, but I scramble more to leave. Like I'm like the whereas you are so afraid of being late that you're there early.
I'm early, yeah.
But I'm not a late person.
Yesterday we had to go to Madrid and we stood 20 minutes at the bus stop because I couldn't keep myself inside the house anymore.
Yeah, you're earlier. But I'm not late to things. Let's set the record straight. I respect people's time.
Yeah.
That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's easy.
If you like it, I thought we can do more in the future, but especially near our anniversary, we can do a couples edition. We hope you really like this, and if you have, that you have learned something about us and that it's a good thing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. We're so happy about it. Hit the notify me, whatever, you know, the things that YouTubers say. It does help a lot. We hope you have a very nice day.
That was very unnatural.